for VR to become true VR, right? We can't provide just a standalone VR experience where it's a single player in this whole brand new world. Otherwise, we will feel lonely. So the best VR experience is always social VR experience, where you can experience that new world with your friends, with your family, right? Only in that case can we create really compelling VR contents. And at the same time, blockchain, we also need social to make blockchain. The whole idea behind blockchain is we want to create a decentralized system, but without social, there's no decentralization, there's no community, and there's no blockchain. So I think it's interesting to find the best overlap between virtual reality and blockchain is through social, and all the social VR platforms can be enabled by blockchain to enable the virtual economies, to enable, for example, virtual payment in the virtual world, and a lot of new use cases and new scenarios can be created by combining these two. For example, there is a company called Decentraland. They did a ICO roughly half a year ago. It's a really successful ICO, and what this company does is they are creating this matrix-like world where everybody can have ownership of these virtual assets and can build their virtual houses and can potentially live virtually in this virtual world, right? So they are using blockchain technology to define the ownership of these digital assets with content creation. So if you are a content creator and you build this new house in this virtual world, you get rewarded by the tokens. Or if you want to, buy a new house or buy a new land or buy some other digital assets inside that virtual world, you can spend those tokens to acquire them. So it's like, you are creating this new world, but at the same time, the blockchain is a fundamental transaction layer so that, the virtual economy can be enabled for this new world. I think the traditional VC model is definitely going to be challenged by the ICO model, right? So compared to traditional financing through raising money from traditional VCs, for startups, all of a sudden they have a new way to raise a lot of money from retail investors without diluting their equity. And that is awesome news for the startups. And also for the retail investors, traditionally they need to be accredited investor in order to make investment in private companies. But now all of a sudden, they can have access to these deals, right? So I think on one hand it's beneficial for both sides, but on the other hand, the ICO, the regulation around ICO is not quite there yet. So it's still a gray area. There are a lot of scams around, whether the company is legit. And at the end of the day, when all the money has been wired to this wallet, what if the entrepreneurs just, take the money and disappear? And there's nothing to stop that. And basically, the crypto wallet is not protected by the law as well. So definitely, it's a huge challenge for the traditional VC, but it provides a new way for us to think about it, to think about, what is the best way to get everybody participated while, we can regulate this market so that, your investment is secure and everybody fully understands the risk around it. Actually, this is the second BEF I attended. So the first BEF that's happening in New York last year, I was also one of the speakers there. I think, what's unique about blockchain compared to the other enabling technologies is that blockchain is a world phenomenon, is a worldwide phenomenon. And all the other technologies are mostly emerged from Silicon Valley and spread across the world, right? So that makes a huge difference for blockchain. And right now, in terms of the center of the gravity for blockchain, Silicon Valley is one of the center of the gravity, but it doesn't cover all. China is a big market. Japan is a big market. Singapore is a big market. Russia is a big market. And it's a worldwide phenomenon. So for me, I think one of the unique thing about the BEF conference is also it's a global conference. So I'm a big supporter for LATOKEN and what Valentin has been doing, and I look forward to participating in more of these conferences that's happening worldwide.